Sir Ben Ainslie, first ever Grand Prix in SailGP, and he beats the defending champion Tom Slingsby in his home waters.
Ben Ainslie is one of the all-time legends of sailing. You look at his track record on the Olympic stage, no one really comes close to him in the modern era.
Ben is clearly showing that as an athlete, getting involved with team ownership, that really is something that a lot of the athletes now, myself included, are looking to.
The reason I took the franchise was I believe in SailGP commercially. Regarding bringing the partners in, we need them. You know, we've got a budget, we've got to make 8 to 10 million a season to fund this team, this franchise.
It's a business model that the rest of us are very keen to understand how he makes it work, because it's very important for the future.
I don't think there's many people in the world that could convince the Princess of Wales, the future Queen of England, to sail around with them. So Ben Ainslie certainly got that prestige.
To be classified as the GOAT, you've got to win in all the disciplines in the sport of sailing, and I'm sure if you spoke to Ben, you know, he still feels like he has unfinished business.
I think if he were to win SailGP, he could retire a very happy man, knowing he's won it all.
Race 3 here in Dubai, and Sir Ben Ainslie wins his second race of the day. He's looking very strong for tomorrow's Grand Prix final.
And the question is Dubai going to be the first Grand Prix victory of Team GBR here in Season 3?
Before Season 3, the British team, they made 4 finals and they won 2 of them. In Season 3, they've made 4 finals and they've failed to win 1 yet. For me, the British team have not had that sparkle, I guess, since Sydney last season.
Oh my God!
He was completely blind. He didn't see us at all.
And just basically cut their bow in half and you know, put people's life in danger. Sometimes if it's such a traumatic event, such as a massive collision with another boat, that shapes the way that you're going to respond to those risks.
I've never asked Ben, you know, how he feels since our big crash in Sydney, but I know Goobs very well. And Goobs did say to me that their starting strategy since our accident has changed a bit, so they are trying to put the boat in positions that are less risky.
We've gone through this season. We started out wanting to be really conservative on the back of what happened last season, and I think we matched that desire. We have been consistent, but I don't feel like we've ever truly fully hit our straps.
GBR holding their nerve closely, followed by New Zealand. To me, this is their best Grand Prix by far.
Well, yeah, that's right. They've really not improved their starts, but he's consistently moving through the fleet, and that still seems to be giving him great results.
And Ben crosses the finish line to qualify for the final. That's 10 points ahead of Frenchman Quentin Delapierre and 12 points ahead of Mr. Tom Slingsby.
Well, I always knew that sooner or later Sir Ben was going to hit back. Those who follow SailGP know how invested he is in this league. You've got to remember, he was the first CEO that bought a team. And I can tell you, knowing Ben, there's always a business opportunity out there on the horizon.
I've had some interesting business meetings over the years with sailing sponsorship. I suppose the most bizarre was I was sponsored for many years by JP Morgan with my Olympic sailing, and I was trying to get them to upgrade. I went to Key Biscayne, where the CEO and chairman of JP Morgan, very, very famous businessman, he was hosting his inner sanctum, if you like, and I was asked to go along and give a bit of a speech about some of the things we've been doing with Olympics and so on. And he knew that, you know, we were going to have discussion about sort of widening the sponsorship. And we ended up at this dinner, maybe a couple of hundred people, very smart hotel in Key Biscayne. And towards the end of the dinner, he looks at me, he says, "Ben, do you dance?" what a bizarre question. Why? Straight away, no. Seriously, I'm the world's worst dancer. I've got zero coordination. You don't want to see me dancing, trust me. No, I think the crowd expects it. You and I, let's dance. And I had this thought in my mind, you know, do I say no and sort of risk endangering this deal, or do I take it on the chin and man up and get on the dance floor? So, to huge embarrassment, I got on the dance floor, and it was definitely one of the most awkward experiences in my life. And plenty of amusement from the sides of the dance floor. And, you know, final part of the story is we didn't get the deal. So it was embarrassment for nothing, but it's certainly something I'll never forget.
It's the final of the Dubai Sail Grand Prix, and what a final these three teams are having. Moments ago, it looked like Sir Ben Ainslie was completely out of it, but now he's right back in there. He's going fast on the inside.
This I've learned in SailGP. With Ben Ainslie, something is always going to surprise you.
As an owner and manager of one of these teams, there's slightly more going on than just what's happening on the water.
Any Grand Prix is an opportunity for a team CEO to show potential sponsors that have almost signed the dotted line what they can do out on the racetrack. And for Dubai, it was an opportunity for Ben Ainslie to get his new sponsorship with Emirates over the line.
Yeah, in Dubai, we had Boutros. He's the head of commercial for Emirates. We got him down to the event. And, yeah, it's a fantastic spectacle.
Wow, Ben Ainslie, Team GBR, they've done it. They've just overtaken France and Australia in one go.
We're leading coming into the finish of the final race.
Great Britain have missed the foil drop. Massive mistake.
And messed up the jibe and went from, you know, hero to zero in about 10 seconds. And, you know, at that moment, I thought, wow, you know, that could have just cost us this sponsorship deal with Emirates, because, you know, those things make a difference. If you're there, you're watching, you know, is this a team that we're backing? We think they can be a winning team or not?
That's okay, I'll leave it because it'll be red. They'll lose their shine in a little bit, but at least you'll get a little bit of moisture. Flexing the muscles.
Well, a huge vote of confidence in your team and the league yesterday with the announcement of the Emirates title partnership.
Yeah, it's a massive moment for our team to see a brand like Emirates, which is one of the leading brands in global sports marketing, coming in behind the team and the league.
So, Ben, what I like to know is how much money are you making with this deal?
Borja, I couldn't possibly tell you how much money I'm making with this deal. It's not all of the money, but it gets us a long way there, which is fantastic.
I think it's tough seeing the red British wing with Emirates, because for as long as I can remember, it's Emirates Team New Zealand. It's the Kiwis with that big red wing.
Emirates has had a very long standing with Emirates Team New Zealand in the America's Cup, and so I think it caught a lot of people by surprise that he was able to get Emirates to back his team.
Yeah, it was surprising to see Ben turn up with Emirates on the wing. Probably more surprising for Pete and Blair and the Kiwi team.
Yeah, well, I don't think Ben's won a race yet this season, but maybe he's saving his best for the end. But it's it's just awesome to see teams having good commercial success.
Well, in a few hours, we're going to kick off the KPMG Australia Sail Grand Prix. The British team, they're back in full force with their new title sponsor and with Hannah Mills back from maternity leave.
Hello, my darling.
She's been amazing.
Oh my God, I love you guys.
Ready?
Well, Hannah came and said, look, really want to keep doing this. We've got to take some time out to have baby Sienna, but we want to get back in. It was, well, tell us what you need, because she's such an amazing sailor, such an amazing talent.
I've literally just come from feeding Sienna before we go out racing. I love it. I love being a mum and getting that opportunity to have all the moments with Sienna. It's the most amazing thing I've ever done. But then I also love the opportunity I have with SailGP and my sailing to keep that part of my identity as well. So that has just allowed me to be both those people in a really nice kind of mesh.
Race 1 in the KPMG Australia Grand Prix. Australia and GBR, great starts. Brilliant work at the bottom end of the line. New Zealand, oh no, they're over the line early. Australia, they lead the fleet towards Mark 1, followed by France and Great Britain, chasing hard in third.
Very lucky that Nick's able to come with Sienna and support me so that I can continue breastfeeding her. It makes it all possible.
I've stepped back from my coaching role, so coaching the British Olympic team, to focus entirely on supporting Hannah's work and looking after Sienna. It wasn't an easy decision, but it's been really quite amazing. You know, once you take something that's pulling you away from each other, once you take one of those things away and all of a sudden actually you're on the same page, so it's been nice.
Gate 2, and here we go. Great Britain, they dive to the inside and they overtake France for second.
Very important move. Remember, right now, Great Britain is third in the overall standings and France is fourth. Only 1 point separating them. Every race counts if they want to make the grand final in San Francisco.
Well, yeah, right now, from Ben to Hannah, the British team is sailing this boat to perfection.
Yeah, look, I've been fortunate to sail with some of the very best sailors in the world, and Hannah's right up there, if not better than that. So impressed with how she's got onto the boat, dealt with the physicality of the F50, but the input that now she's now giving the team is, you know, second to none.
Okay, we're going to need the boundary to get the tack in. Copy.
If Ben is the greatest male Olympic sailor that's been, then Hannah is the greatest female Olympic sailor that's been. You know, Ben is putting a lot of responsibility on Hannah's shoulders to help with the tactical decisions around the race course, with judging, you know, are we crossing this boat? What side of that boat do you want to go to?
We're starboarding France, they're behind. Copy.
And that's Hannah Mills saying the French boat will be behind Emirates GBR on this cross.
It looks really tight. Let's hope she's timed it right.